Okay, I'm back. Ice storms. Small balls of ice called hailstones form when water droplets are blown around inside a snowstorm. Droplets are blown around the cloud where they freeze into hailstones. The hailstones are blown around more. They get covered in a layer of water. The water freezes into a layer around the hailstones and they get bigger. Eventually, the hailstones are so heavy they fall to the ground. When lots of hailstones fall from a storm cloud, it's called a hailstorm. This giant hailstorm fell in Kansas. It is shown here at around half of its actual size. If you cut a hailstone open, you would see the different frozen layers. How about that? Electric skies. Thunder and lightning form inside massive storm clouds. First, damp, warm air rises high into the sky. As it cools, it turns into a storm cloud. Inside the cloud, the wind swirls a mixture of hailstones and rain up and down. And then the hailstones and rain bump and rub against each other, and this makes electricity. The electricity leaps down from the cloud as a very hot flash of lightning. Thunder is the sound of the air quickly heating up around the lightning flash. When lightning splits like this, it's called forking lightning. Kind of looks like a fork, right? Light travels faster than sound, so you always see lightning before you hear thunder. How about that? Sometimes if you count the number of seconds, you can tell how many miles away. I don't know the exact number of miles away that it would be, but if you count, like you see the flash of lightning and then you go 1, 2, 3, then you hear boom. You can look it up, and I can probably look it up for you too. How many miles away? I think, if I'm wrong about this, I'll let you know. But I think it's for every second. That's how many miles. But I'm gonna look that up. Okay. Whirling winds. Tornadoes are extremely fast, spinning winds that form inside storm clouds. In some places, they are called twisters. A tornado's violent winds can destroy houses and farmland. This is a tornado in the United States. Okay, 4 steps of a tornado. The air inside a storm cloud slowly starts to spin around and around. The air spins faster and faster. The bottom of the cloud starts to grow. So you can see here how it's starting to form a twister. Phase 1, phase 2. Ruh-roh. Air is sucked up from the ground and it turns into a whirling funnel of cloud. And then as the tornado moves along the ground, it causes serious damage. Tornadoes are called twisters because they can twist the tops of trees. So look, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Dry storms. Dust storms happen in very hot, windy places where there is no rain, such as the desert. The sun bakes the ground, making it very dry. The soil cracks into pieces, which you can see there. Loose pieces of soil are blown along the ground, making them break up even more. Soon, the loose soil becomes fine dust, and strong winds blow into huge clouds. Camels can close their noses so they don't breathe in dust during a dust storm. This is a dust storm in Afghanistan. The dust has filled the sky, blocking out the sun. Look how hazy it is. That's not fog, that's dirt. Crazy. The biggest storm. Bum, bum, bum. The hurricane. Hurricanes are huge, violent storms with very strong winds and heavy rain. They form over warm seas and can be blown onto land. The sun heats moist air over the sea. The moist air rises very quickly and then it starts to spin. As it spins, the air creates big, swirling storm clouds. And then the storm gets bigger and bigger and grows into a hurricane. So you see here how it's starting to get spun up? Look here. This is what a hurricane looks like from space. The middle of the storm is called the eye. And in the middle of the storm, it's calm. So sometimes you hear about the eye of the storm. That's the calm center of the storm. In different countries, hurricanes are also known as cyclones, typhoons, and willy willies. Willy willy. I know a willy willy. During the storm, different parts of a hurricane produce different types of weather. These palm trees in Florida are being whipped by wind from a hurricane. Step 1. At the start of a hurricane, big swirls of dark clouds from the sky form. Then extremely strong winds blow and there is heavy rain, hail, thunder, and lightning. As the eye of the storm passes overhead, it is sunny and clear. And when the eye has moved on, clouds fill the sky and the violent weather starts again. After the storm. When a hurricane strikes an area, it causes serious damage. This is New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Strong winds destroyed thousands of houses. Hurricane winds create big waves that damage buildings on shore. Heavy rain makes rivers overflow their banks, flooding large areas of land. Tracking storms. Scientists study storms to try to find out more of why they happened. The weather truck has stopped under a storm in Oklahoma. The truck has equipment to measure wind, rain, and temperature in the clouds. Weather satellites in space look for hurricanes forming at sea. Satellites send information about the hurricane to a control room. Computers find out where and when the hurricane might reach land. This is all important information for people sitting at home that don't have these type of instruments, and this is why the Weather Service does all this measuring and tracking, and then they let news media know if there's a scary or important storm we should know about and take cover, and then we end up finding out about it, or we find out on our cell phones from having a hurricane alert or a tornado alert or a strong storm or flooding alert. So all of this is all an important part of how we get information and can prepare for storms for ourselves and our families. Flags are put up in dangerous areas. There are warnings on the television and radio. People leave their homes quickly so they can escape a hurricane. So if you were to encounter a very, very scary hurricane in your area, you would leave home. Strange storms. In parts of the world, stormy weather can do unusual things. During an ice storm, heavy rain falls into very cold surfaces and freezes. This photo was taken of a storm in Switzerland. A tornado's strong winds can pick up fish, frogs, and other small animals. The animals are carried along, then dropped as if they were raining from the sky. We have our glossary. So we have the important words that we learned in the book, which are lightning, which is a hot flash of electricity, thunder, the loud rumbling following a lightning flash, hail, small balls of ice that form, tornado, a very fast spinning wind that looks a lot like a funnel, dust storm, dry soil that is blown, hurricane, a massive violent storm, and a weather satellite, a machine in space that detects hurricanes forming. So we had so much fun today, or I had so much fun today. I hope you did too. We learned about briefly about the California Condor. We learned about a bunch of different birds and their nesting behaviors, which was pretty cool. And then we transitioned to wind, because the California Condor needs a lot of wind to be able to stay up in the air and fly the way it should. And so we talked about wind and a bunch of different types of weather. So I hope you had a great time today. I'll be back again soon. We only have a few more animals to hit, but I hope to be back a lot more. Bye. See ya.